All right, welcome back. I know this was definitely not enough time for everybody to think through, and it's just an opportunity to practice and have some conversation. I was with our community needs group, and we were talking about some different things too, about different audiences and who needs to do some different stuff. And I wish I had another day to work with them. So happy to be a thought partner if you need that going forward. So what I would like us to do, if we could just get a couple of different groups I use the word presentation loosely. I do not expect you to have a slide or be formally ready to present, but curious about what are some of the conversations you had and where your thought processes are. So which group would like to volunteer to go first? Andrea? Perfect. I saw your hand. Go ahead.
Cool. So our group talked about the change to remote work. So our 4Ps, I suppose, are the project was remote work. The purpose is safety during a pandemic. The particulars, we are changing the site that people report to. We are making all of our meetings remote. We are getting rid of travel or making less travel. And then some of our members and some of our staff were doing a different type of work. And the people, everybody was changing except the field people had the most change. And then for our step 2, we decided to focus on field AmeriCorps members since they had to deal with the most change and had the least input into the process. We rated their awareness as 5, their desire as a 3 because it was really varied. Some people it was a big barrier, some people it wasn't. Their knowledge as a 4, their ability as a 3, also again, really wide variance. Some people worked really well, and some people it was really a challenge. And reinforcement was a 2. And we decided to focus in on reinforcement as our main barrier. And we talked about some different ways to overcome that. Having, for example, daily virtual check-ins with our team, having virtual meetings to have a chance to socialize, having study groups or teams to work together and have more of a social aspect, creating regularity, creating expectations, and exploring options for outside service that are more tactile. So for example, having team members make face masks from home.
Awesome.
Thank you. Good job. Absolutely. Love the different brainstorming actions you came up with on those. Awesome. All right. How about, let's see what our time is. Very good. We can do 1 or 2 more. So what group would like to go next?
I am happy to talk about team staff changes.
All right.
So the first piece, staff changes, purpose is for organizational growth and efficiency. Particulars are new hires, maybe lat moves or like changing position types, and also people exiting the organization. People is, again, kind of the same as the particulars, I think, in this instance. It's going to be filling those new hire positions and then evolving position types. So one of the areas we also focused on was reinforcement. That in this area is really key. And the audience type was really for junior staff members. I think oftentimes, because the structures change in an organization, those are the people who are impacted the most. So one of the key things for that is supervising and coaching. And I think just things SBP can do are, for there to be like these, one-on-one type relationships. Another thing is, we're partnering with farmers for this training because this isn't a skill set that we had in-house. Farmers is typically ranked one of the top places to work. So we're leveraging people in our network to provide additional trainings to help support that growth, change, and efficiency. That's it.
Fantastic. Thank you for plugging farmers. I appreciate it. We actually did. I think it was 4th year in a row. Great place to work. Woohoo. So absolutely. I know. Very exciting. All right. Do we have one more group? Just go ahead and give me a high five if you would like to go. And if not, I'm trying to look. Okay. No worries. Thank you to the two groups that shared. I am very impressed that you were able to move through all that and you had some really good ideas within the short amount of group time that you had. So obviously people take a lot of time to map these out, and it's a lot of different thinking through processes and getting together again and saying, okay, where did we miss? What's going on? Let's help to diagnosis. And so you have your participant guide. There's a lot of different resources on there to kind of help you think through some of those things as well. So use that really as a resource guide to be able to refer to as you're thinking through doing some change processes. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap up this session. That went very quickly. So the final slide that Kathy's going to pull up for us. Yes, perfect. All right, thanks, Kathy. So what's expected of us? There's a couple of different things to think about as you go through change. And I think there are some specific expectations for people, leaders, for people that are leading groups, for even influencers. You do not have to be a formal people leader in an organization. There's a lot of times that people are looking to you on how things are and what's going on. So a couple of different things. Make sure you understand the change. If you do not understand the why, find out, because that's going to be the big piece that's going to help you kind of unlock your emotions to be able to move forward. You need to understand why you're changing before you even talk to anybody. And if you don't understand why, figure it out, because it's usually the first question that people are going to ask you. Why are we changing? Why are we doing this? This process work. So that's important. Communicate. And then communicate some more. When you think that you have communicated enough, just communicate one more time. People you think you have said the message so many times, but it's just that one more that you have on there. Demonstrate support for the change. So that's another reason why it's important to understand the why behind it, so that you can demonstrate support. Again, you have to work through your emotions and put on your own mask before you can lead through others. Coach people. Look at the guide that I gave to you. There's a lot of good resources on there about different questions you can ask people to kind of disrupt some of the different emotions. And, the other thing is, I just want you all to remember that you are in the best position to directly influence how your team members, how your direct reports, and how those around you experience change. And then when change happens to us, remember, proactively learn about it. Use it as an opportunity to learn new skills or build resistance. I have a running joke with my team members that I'm learning how to develop dealing with ambiguity right now. And I'm saying that's one of my lessons that I'm learning. And then help to think through how you can reinforce a change with others and also with yourself. And again, use the participant guide and the resource guide that we provided for you. So thank you very much for talking about change. I will stick around. I know we've got about 2 minutes left, and I can stay after as well. But if anybody has any additional questions or thoughts about this, I'd be happy to see what I can guide you on or ask different questions to help you guide yourself. So thank you very much.